To make some extra cash, I took a gig serving drinks at this high-end luxury banquet. I look up from my tray and freeze. There stands my completely ordinary girlfriend, dressed in an incredibly gorgeous gown, totally surrounded by people kissing up to her. Hearing what they call her makes my blood run absolutely cold. The eldest Miss Thumb. That is my girlfriend. So how is this even possible? She is supposed to be a normal accountant. A girl so socially anxious she blushes just talking to strangers. She looks nothing like this smooth, ridiculously confident socialite working the room right now. I stare at the woman standing just steps away, my head spinning in absolute chaos. Thumb Kai TNH, and I originally met during a company event. Back when she was getting harassed by some drunk guy, I stepped in to help her out, and to thank me, she bought me dinner. One thing led to another, and we actually started dating. She told me she worked as a corporate designer, always complaining about being so ridiculously busy she barely had time to breathe. We rented a small apartment near her office. The rent was pretty steep, but being just a 10-minute walk from work saved us both a ton of time. Every day, I have been working side hustles on top of my main job for 3 years now. I finally saved up over $300 million, enough for a decent down payment. I only took this serving gig to earn a little extra cash for furniture, never expecting to run into them Kai TNH at a place like this. Holding my tray, the guests whispering nearby. They say the eldest Miss Thumb hit the jackpot, rich, gorgeous, and keeping her family on top of the world. Another guy chimes, and you should see the yellow diamond ring on her finger. That thing is worth well over $8 billion. They gossip about how incredibly hard Thumb Kai TNH works, even renting a modest place near her office. She is the top female billionaire around, and they wonder what lucky guy gets her next. Someone like her is destined for a strategic family marriage anyway. Playing around with romance is fine, but tying the knot is impossible. She obviously has to marry someone in her own league. You have to wonder how I miss this, right? My head is spinning. We have been together so long, did she really never leave a single clue behind? Like her bags? They were always designer, but she swore they were cheap knockoffs. I even blew an entire month of my salary to buy her a real LV bag. She acted thrilled, but literally only wore it one time. When I asked, she claimed it was just too precious, so she could not bear to risk ruining it. Looking back, it wasn't about keeping it safe. She basically just hated it. She probably thought it was trash, yet still played along just to protect my fragile, pitiful ego. I clench my fists tight, swallowing down the bitter taste, watching her shine so brightly across the room. Because that right there is her true self. Meanwhile, our tiny rented room must feel like an absolute prison to her. How could a precious, elite young lady ever actually survive in a dump like that? I shake my head and slowly back away. I still have to finish cleaning up and return my uniform tonight. By the time I get home, Thumb Kai TNH has already showered. She is sitting cross-legged at her computer, wearing some cheap cotton pajamas that cost absolutely nothing. Seeing her like this makes my chest feel incredibly heavy. She looks up and gives me this gentle smile, asking if I am finally home. She tells me to eat some fruit, wash up, and get some early rest. I don't move an inch. I just take a deep breath and ask Thumb Kai TNH, how much did that gown actually cost? Does someone with your elite status not feel completely suffocated living in a place like this? She does not panic at all. She just calmly shuts her laptop. So you saw everything, she says smoothly. I nod, telling her that while she was soaking up everyone's praises, I was literally serving drinks on the other side. She actually asks if it was fun. I snap back, did the wealthy heiress need a poor side character for her little poverty simulation? Thumb Kai TNH just shrugs. She says since I already know the truth, she won't bother hiding it. But just listen to this reaction. She admits she was experiencing normal life, and isn't bored yet. I stare at her coldly. Well, I am done, so get out. I rip the front door open, kicking her out, thinking back to all that cheap stuff. I bet she never even wanted those cheap gifts I bought her. I tell her to leave. She frowns, looking super annoyed, asking if I am serious. Dead serious. I could accept her being totally broke or being an insanely rich heiress, but I absolutely refuse to accept her lying straight to my face for years. Does experiencing life give her the right to play with my actual feelings? Every time I fantasized about our future together, talking about working myself to the bone to buy us a nice big house here, Thumb Kai TNH would just smile and stay quiet. Back then, I thought she was just being shy. Now I realize she was secretly mocking me. Why would the glorious eldest daughter of the Thumb family ever need a house from me? My fragile pride is completely laid bare, totally crushed to pieces under her designer heels. Thumb Kai TNH nods, walks straight into the bedroom, and comes back out wearing a perfectly tailored suit and carrying her handbag. It finally hits me. That single bag could probably buy this entire apartment. This is the real her. I'm completely out of place in our rundown room. She tells me, "Turn Q, you will regret this, and soon enough, you will beg me to return." I scream at the top of my lungs, "Just get out." Kai TNH shoots me one last cold glare before walking right out the door. Once she is finally gone, I stare at all the old stuff she left behind in the room, collapsing onto the floor in pure exhaustion. Every single memory we shared flashes through my mind, and I still can't believe everything was just a lie. Did Kai TNH actually love me? Sure, she probably felt something when I saved her from that drunk guy. But honestly, being together, I never could truly figure her out. She hardly cared about anything. Looking back now, the girl was just so rich. She never had to worry about material things. What a fool I was, working 3 whole jobs, just hoping to build a real future with her. To a wealthy heiress experiencing normal life, I was just a passing tourist. I pack up every single thing she left behind, boxing it up without knowing where to put it. Whatever, just throw it all away. Then I contact an agent for a new place. A completely sleepless night. Next morning, I hit the office with massive dark circles. The manager immediately calls me in. "Great news, Turn Q. Your design passed the Shen Corporation's first round. Their director wants you to head over there right now to prep the details. So get moving today." I freeze up completely. Who is in charge over there? Just Director L, the design head you already met. I sigh in relief. As long as it isn't Kai TNH. Now watch this madness. Right as we meet Director L, the doors swing open. A familiar figure walks in, and L jumps right up. "Young miss." Kai TNH gives a slight nod, sitting right down in the boss's chair. "Keep going, everyone. Let me hear this pitch." My heart completely sinks. She planned this. My manager nudges me to keep going. I clench my fists, forcing myself to present the plan. Halfway through, Kai TNH taps the table. Her tone is totally cold. "Has your company considered the flaws in this design? This project targets high-end clients, and the things you made are just way too basic." Her harsh words make my face burn with pure embarrassment. Then I lower my voice. "High-end clients care about their social circle. The core of this design focuses on social class. Since this area sits right near the university faculty housing, you cannot buy elite connections with money. The phoenix only lands on the sycamore tree. If the tree stands, the phoenix comes. Is that not important?" We clash hard. She lets out a mocking laugh. "Phoenix on a sycamore? First, see if your big tree is attractive enough. Living in a slum while dreaming of the wealthy circle. Your design idea is basically worth absolutely nothing. Keep fixing it or your company drops out of the competition. Quitting is impossible, but Kai TNH is clearly making things difficult. Getting her approval is just a massive pipe dream. She is forcing me to beg, but on what grounds? This design is my absolute passion project. When I made it, Kai TNH was right there beside me, giving me endless praise. I know my design has 0 issues. She is just picking fights. Still, I gather my spirit to make adjustments, sending it only after confirming absolutely no mistakes exist. Almost instantly, she replies unsatisfied. "Fix it again." So I edit it. I have dealt with crazy client demands before. A low blow from someone like Kai TNH really does not mean much. That night, I work overtime until 7, finishing the edits and sending it to her. Right after, the agent finds a suitable place for viewing. I start leaving, but Kai TNH calls. I hesitate forever before answering. "Need something, Director Turn Q, you are the lead designer, and this is your limit? Utterly mediocre. If you cannot do it, then just quit." Before I can even speak, she hangs up. My stomach hurts from pure anger. This so-called mediocrity is the exact result of carefully considering her own opinions to build that plan. She rejected it, told me to fix it, and now hates the edits. So I directly message her, "Excuse me, Director exactly which points are you unhappy with?" A red exclamation mark pops up, making my chest tighten. She actually blocked me. I just want to curse, but having no other choice, I keep editing. After emailing the next version, I go see the apartment. It is near the company, 1 bedroom, ready for move-in. Small place, but fully furnished. I barely have any stuff anyway, so moving here is perfect. I sign the contract immediately, but 1 hour later, the agent calls, nervously stammering. "Mr. Turn, so sorry. This apartment is no longer for rent. Someone paid higher, the landlord cancelled, and my old lease is up. So I cannot help but take a very deep breath. You see what is happening here? I know instantly. This is Banquet. Only she has the power to cut my escapes this fast. Hanging up, I drag my luggage to a hotel. At the desk, a notification makes my head ring. My head rings loudly. Savings card ending in 0, 4, 2, 6. Just spent 300 million. Dong on the 12th. Current balance sitting at 500 dong. I completely forgot. My card shares a family payment link with Banquet. Her buying one meal just left me completely broke. I am furious, instantly calling her. After a dozen long rings, someone finally answers. A mocking voice echoes from the other end. Banquet is pretty tied up right now. Who exactly is this? I take a deep breath and state my full name. The guy just goes, "Oh," sounding completely amused. "Hey, your little toy is here. Wants to see you. Send him up to room 355 at the Louis Vuitton Club." Banquet snaps a sharp order and just hangs up. I can barely stop myself from clenching my fists. Louis Vuitton is the most famous private club in town. One bottle of wine there equals my whole monthly salary. Back when we were together, I remember her saying her family invested heavily in that place. So it is definitely her absolute territory. Meanwhile, I only have 500 left to carefully scrape by on. Left with absolutely zero options. I get a friend to hold my luggage and pedal all the way over there. Right outside her private room, I catch a bunch of guys and girls laughing loudly inside. Is your little toy actually trying to break things off? Aren't you going to coax him a bit? My chest completely tightens as I grip the door handle. Coax him? People have only ever begged me. Does he even deserve a single wasted breath from me? Very true. For a cheap guy like him, just climbing up to someone like Banquet is definitely the absolute blessing of a lifetime. What is your next move then? Banquet answers so coldly. Obviously, I will just wait for him to come crawling and begging. I am definitely not someone you can just offend and walk away from. I am really looking forward to seeing him totally groveling on his knees. That loud, mocking laughter following her words stabs right into my chest. I freeze up. Now watch this mess unfold. Just as I push the door, a massive force suddenly slams into my back. Completely off guard, I tumble inside, crashing straight into their expensive drinks. Bottles completely shatter across the floor. My hands press down right on sharp glass, sending a vicious ache straight through me. Right after that, an ear-piercing scream rings out. That bottle costs 300 million. Can you even afford to pay? Terrified, I just stare down at the broken glass mixed with torn labels. I do not recognize the English text on them, but it clearly screams ridiculously expensive anyway. Oh, my bad. Saw you hesitating at the door, and just wanted to help you out. The guy sneers. I whip my head around. A guy in his 20s, wearing a spiked leather jacket stands there looking insanely arrogant. Zero remorse in his awful attitude. He did that entirely on purpose. Banquet sits proudly on the fancy sofa, crossing her legs. So you actually crawled all the way here to beg me? I slowly stand up and ask quietly, are you seriously trying to push me over the edge? She just spreads her hands wide. What is that supposed to mean? Also, you need to pay for this wine, since I was originally buying it. Pulling out her phone, she gives this incredibly cold smirk. Did you forget the payment text? Banquet's gaze flashes playfully as she claps her hands. Great. In that case, drink all the spilled wine, and I will actually let you totally off the hook. The whole crowd around us just bursts into cruel laughter. Hurry up, we finally got a really good show to watch here. Miss Tham is being so incredibly generous right now, man. Otherwise, you would have absolutely zero chances left. She is giving you a clear way out. So just take it. Look straight into the camera and make a little memory here. These rich kids are wildly arrogant, even setting up phone cameras while sitting on the sofa, just to enjoy my humiliation. Seeing me completely frozen in place, Banquet's gaze flashes. A look of pure disgust. You do not want to? Feeling pretty angry right now? Well, this is exactly how wealthy people really live. Tran-Q, you are just so painfully mediocre. Your designs are truly as pathetic as you are. You feel the trap closing, right? Only after drinking this can you revise your work. Otherwise, pack up. Right then, my manager suddenly calls. I'm trembling way too much to answer. A hand suddenly snatches my phone and accepts the call. My manager's furious screaming blasts through the speaker. Tran-Q, what exactly is wrong with you today? If you want to quit, then get out. He violently hangs up, leaving my face completely pale and totally drained. Banquet slowly raises an eyebrow and sighs out loud. Whatever, just leave. We can easily find another designer. No, we'll drink it. Losing this job turns years of my intense effort into a total joke. Right now, I have absolutely no way to fight back against Tham Kai Tin. I just have to cave. I drop straight down to the floor, sipping up the spilled wine, mixed right into the shattered glass. The liquid fills my mouth with a harsh metallic taste. My tongue gets completely sliced open, sending sharp waves of pain everywhere. That dark red liquid completely mixes with my saliva. Around me, everyone erupts into nasty laughter. Look at him, he is literally just a dog. Exactly. Come on, pose pretty. On your knees. They shove their phone cameras right in my face. I'm physically shaking, my stomach churning so hard. The next second, Tham Kai Tin slaps me viciously across the cheek. You actually drank it? How can you be this pathetic? I let out a dry laugh, my mouth completely ruined and stinging. When I tilt my head up, a quick flash of genuine shock crosses her eyes. Is not this exactly what you wanted? Miss Tham, are we done here? If not, I can easily keep going. I pretend to drop down to my knees again. Tham Kai Tin loses her patience completely. Get the hell out. I stand up slowly, snatch my phone back, cover my mouth, and storm right out. A Luit Veen staff member jumps in total shock upon seeing my state. Sir, are you okay? Do you need me to call an ambulance? I shake my head and rush to the restroom to rinse. My mouth absolutely burns like wildfire, the pain, squeezing tears right from my eyes. Tran Q, why are you so incredibly useless? The staff member brings some ice for me to hold in my mouth. I nod in thanks. The freezing ice hits my tongue, sending a sharp, biting chill that jolts my entire body fully awake. That metallic taste in my mouth is a pretty harsh reminder. Tran Q, this rich kid game? You just cannot play it. Tran Q, are you regretting it yet? Regretting that you dumped me? Tham Kai Tin steps right out, looking completely high and mighty like some judge. I shake my head. No regrets, but I cannot even form the words. She instantly loses her mind, grabbing my throat and slamming me hard against the wall. I need that final proposal by tomorrow morning, she growls, or else you know exactly what happens. She lets go and walks off without a backward glance. I stumble outside, shaking. The rain starts pouring down. I need to find Lam Dong. By the time I finally make it back to my buddy's place, he sees the crimson mess on my chest and practically passes out from shock. Tran Q, what happened? Got mugged? I brush it off. It is just wine. He tries to press the issue, but I just shake my head and head into the bathroom to wash up. My palms are stinging so bad they feel completely numb. Lam Dong just stares at me, looking totally confused by this whole mess. Once I give him the full rundown, you can guess his reaction. He just slams the table and jumps up, absolutely furious at this massive bullying. Tran Q, worst case we just quit, he shouts, but we are getting those 3 million back. I only manage a bitter smile. Look at my state right now. If I go back to mess with her, the outcome will be way worse for us. I take my medicine, inhaling sharply from the pain with every single swallow. Resigned, I just pat his shoulder. Let it go, we cannot beat them. Once I wrap up this project, I'm heading back home. Lam Dong looks completely helpless, obviously knowing exactly how much power Tham Kai Tin holds. Striking a rock with an egg means zero chance of winning. The intense pain in my mouth keeps me restless all night, especially after getting soaked in the rain and taking those meds. My head is spinning, but I force myself up, fix the proposal, and send it. By then, it is already 4 a.m. Bright and early, I drag myself up to catch the subway to work. The second I reach the office, my manager tells me to head straight to the Tham Corporation for deeper negotiations. He makes sure to heavily remind me, Tran Q, this right here is our absolute final chance. We are all completely counting on you for this. Under intense pressure from the Tham Corporation, my entire company is practically surviving on this one single order of mine. I sigh to myself, if Tham Kai Tin insists on making things difficult, I really have zero options. Right now, I just have to grit my teeth and endure it, hoping she loses interest in me pretty soon. I bring my design proposal to the Tham Corporation, but right as I step out of the elevator, I bump into Tham Trach Fu. Wealthy families fighting over fortunes is nothing new at all, but Tham Kai Tin has that massive heiress aura, holding a truly terrifying amount of resources, which leaves Tham Trach Fu falling quite a bit behind her in the ranks. Still, he has plenty of backers, especially for the Vinh Than project. He was actually the very first one to propose developing the Western District. The guy has a clear head and a really far-reaching vision. On this point, Tham Kai Tin loses completely. Tham Trach Fu just smiles. Designer Tran, I finally get to meet you. Any interest in having a little chat with me? I stay totally on guard. I have absolutely zero interest in interfering with the Tham family. inheritance war, and I definitely refuse to become their pawn. Tham Trach Vu just raises an eyebrow. So I hear. You actually dumped Tham Kai Tin. That is epic. He shoots me a thumbs up, looking genuinely impressed. Got any interest in jumping over to my side? Name your price. I am just about to refuse when Tham Kai Tin walks right over. Oldest brother, poaching my people right in front of me is not exactly a good look. Tham Trach Vu rubs his nose. He is not even your employee. True, she shoots back, but he is the main representative for the Vinthan project. Oldest brother, it is best if you do not casually interfere here. Tran Q, wait for me in the office. I head straight inside, just to get away from both of them. A moment later, Tham Kai Tin storms in, looking seriously annoyed. I had no idea your relationship with Tham Trach Vu was quite this good, she snaps. He really seems to value you. The Tham family internally is nowhere near as peaceful as it looks. Tham Kai Tin's shining halo is just too bright, making it impossible for anyone else to even raise their heads. Tham Trach Vu and the others have been wanting to rebel for a while, secretly running businesses and even hiding their own wildcards. Tham Kai Tin is no exception. She wants to completely pressure me. I admit she is seriously capable, but I am just not willing to accept this. Hear me out. Even a minor character in this game has his own pride. Today was my very first time meeting the guy. Anyone with real taste will naturally recognize my skills. A cold laugh rings out. Tham Kai Tin mocks me. Tran Q. Is this really the extent of your abilities? Looking for someone through the back door? Think whatever you want. I shoot back. My conscience is totally clear. Oh, really? I already looked at your proposal. Tham Kai Tin sits at the desk, picking up my design and clicking her tongue in sheer disappointment. Honestly, it is total garbage. She throws the thick folder straight into my face. The incredibly sharp paper edge instantly slices into my cheek, leaving a bright red cut behind. Tham Kai Tin startles, immediately trying to stand up. I just touch my face, giving a bitter smile. Do not dirty your hands, young lady. Tham Kai Tin, I dumped you, so you hold a grudge. But this design proposal has absolutely no issues. I really hope you stop mixing personal feelings with business. Tham Kai Tin instantly chokes on her rage. She shoots up, lunging forward to grab my arm tight. Mixing personal with business? Her face gets massive in my vision as my head rings loudly. I just see her mouth moving, and then everything completely fades to black. I lose consciousness. When I finally wake up, my head is pounding like a hammer, and my throat feels bone dry. Are you awake? A cold voice drops from above. Tham Kai Tin stares down at Tran Q with pure disgust. You are sick, but still pushing yourself. Are you actually stupid? Is the wealthy heiress actually worried about him? Keep dreaming. She scoffs. Take some time off, but do not forget to work once recovered. She walks away, leaving him behind, though she does hire a nurse. But since he cannot afford it, the second his fever drops, he heads straight home. He figures Tham Kai Tin might finally calm down so they can keep working together. But before he even reaches the office, a massive piece of breaking news drops. The headline: Tham Kai Tin abuses her power, forcing a man to kneel and lick wine. It is a video. The footage shows his back to the camera, kneeling down to lick shattered glass right off the floor. From the front angle, only Tham Kai Tin's sharp jawline is visible. Yet people instantly identify exactly who she is. This scandal blows up into a massive storm. Tham Kai Tin's whole identity gets exposed online, with netizens cursing her out. Does having money make you a god? Forcing someone to their knees is purely evil. They demand a strict investigation into the Tham group. Absolutely sure there is tax fraud. They call out the sick hobbies of the rich, but then the blame shifts entirely. Why would that guy willingly kneel? The victim must be at fault too, right? Adult life has its struggles, they argue. He got down on his knees voluntarily, so how can anyone really blame Tham Kai Tin for that? Opinions fly everywhere. Soon enough, not just Tham Kai Tin, but Tran Q gets dragged into the light too. Insiders completely expose his past history with Tham Kai Tin, adding a ton of wild exaggerations to the mix. In their eyes, he gets perfectly packaged as a pathetic gold digger. The rumor claims she made him kneel because he betrayed her. He has no way to clear his name. Elm Eng tries to defend him but gets viciously attacked by keyboard warriors. His face turns bright red with absolute fury, straight up calling these online trolls less than human. While Tham Kai Tin just throws money around to crush trending searches and delete comments. His side is completely powerless to fight back. His entire personal background gets stripped completely bare, and even his workplace gets exposed online. A bunch of streamers actually drag their live broadcasting gear right downstairs to his office building. They want to catch him live on the spot. Before he can even leave, his manager gives him a call. Now look at this. Total disaster. His manager explodes in pure rage, screaming out turnkey. Do you have any idea how long we prepared this project? You have ruined absolutely everything. You are severely damaging the company image. So do not bother showing your face around here for a while. Take a 3-month leave. Without even waiting for an explanation, the manager kicks him straight out of the company chat. He is officially unemployed. Throughout this storm, Banquet easily pays to wipe the video and comments. He is the only one left bearing all the damage in this world. Sitting inside Eng's rented room, he feels a sharp sting in his nose. Why did she deceive him, yet force him to be the one apologizing? In the end, he is still the one getting condemned, and he just cannot understand it. Eng warns him that crowds are searching outside, telling him to stay hidden. His phone has practically exploded with calls. He has already seen enough filthy, hateful words to last an entire lifetime. He genuinely does not understand what he did wrong. They call him a despicable coward who threw away his own dignity just for some cash. In the wealthy world, an ordinary person's dignity is completely worthless. Forcing him to kneel gets totally twisted around, and now every single spear points straight at him. He lets out a heavy breath, messaging but she does not reply. Calling her always hits a busy signal. He figures she is being harassed too, but the very next day, news drops about her engagement to the young master of the Tit family. Tit himself. The man smiling so elegantly on screen is the exact same guy who pushed him into the dark room that night. So this guy is Tit Netizens seem to completely forget the previous scandal, rushing to praise them as a perfect match. They cheer this is the only kind of man worthy of our precious girl. People comment, I told you. How could ever fall for a shameless gold digger like him? Thank goodness they finally broke up. They joke about how much the loser must be regretting it, wondering what corner he is crying in. A massive crowd floods straight into his personal social media page. They hurl insults and curse at him relentlessly. He has zero energy left to defend himself or say anything else. So he just locks his account and blocks every single social platform. Eng is burning with absolute outrage, dragging him out to confront the Thumb group for real justice. He tightly holds his friend back. It is just not worth it. As an ordinary guy, going to war against massive capital is really not a smart move. Eng is incredibly frustrated with him. Are you really going to just let them bully you? They are completely slandering you, and you will just ignore it? Turnkey, I know you are not that kind of guy, but think about it. Once your reputation is utterly ruined, how will you ever step foot into this industry again? He cannot hide a bitter smile. Suddenly, is desperately apologizing to him. No, it is not like that. I already helped clear your name online. Can you believe this excuse? She claims she just did not believe in love. Turnkey, I was born into the Thumb family, completely cold, loveless home. Since childhood, I was taught my marriage was never mine to decide. That is why I just wanted to test if anyone in this entire world could actually love me. Sincerely, Turnkey. I know I was so incredibly wrong. Please, I am begging you to forgive me. From now on, I promise I will make it right. Take good care of him. My heart is completely still. Thumb really doesn't need to do this. I truly loved you back then. But the moment you started lying to me, every last bit of hope I had for you just completely vanished. I actually thought about giving you another chance. You made me kneel, even used your engagement to provoke me, and yet I just brushed it all off. But you just shouldn't have gone after my friend. Just try to act like a decent, normal human being for once. With just a simple wave of her hand, I get pushed straight into an absolute nightmare. This apology now is nothing but pure, helpless fear. Eng actually told me everything. He helped me completely expose every single thing from the past, including exactly how hid her real identity to trick me, drained away all my savings, and purposely made me lose my job. As terribly as the internet trashed me before, they are now ripping into with that exact same fierce intensity. This massive mess even caused the entire Thumb Corporation stock to completely plummet. The head of the Thumb family is absolutely furious, never expecting to cause such a huge, devastating disaster this time around. Turchvi took this chance to buy up all of Thumb projects, leaving her completely backed into a hopeless corner. Now, Every single issue regarding my finances got fully exposed to the public, too. But here is the craziest part. Kai TNH used her high position to repeatedly torment me, weaponizing my own hard work not to make money, but purely to utterly humiliate me. Kai TN's social media platforms got slammed so incredibly hard she actually had to lock her comments, but countless people still sent white floral wreaths straight to her house, and even right to her company doors. I cannot see Kai TN's face clearly anymore. Eng told me she looks incredibly worn down. The girl who used to act so high and mighty, playing everyone like fools, has completely turned into someone else entirely. She aged a dozen years. I just lie in bed, my head throbbing with sharp pain. Sometimes I just drift off in a daze, and when I wake up, everything still feels completely blurry. From Eng's deeply anxious tone, I know my current condition is really not looking good. Waking up at all is basically just pure luck. Most of the time, I simply fall right back into a heavy, endless sleep. Kai TNH claims she will do everything to help me, but I told Eng to kick her out. I really do not want to see her for that final goodbye. I asked the doctor straight up exactly how much time I had left. I can feel my waking moments getting shorter, with only a tiny sliver of light left in front of me. The doctor stayed quiet for a long time before saying it would be soon. I know. He is not even sure when I might close my eyes and just never wake up again. Eng holds my hand, his voice choking up turn-key. You are the most gifted designer have ever met, and I will definitely stay right here by your side. I gently squeeze his fingers. I am incredibly lucky to still have a friend who cares about me. This much at the very end. Time is seriously running out here. I just asked Eng to help me with 3 final tasks. First, I authorized him to sue Kai TNH and get that 300 million back. 100 goes to him, and the remaining 200 gets donated to charity. I was always an orphan with no parents, just wanting a real home. Since I don't need it anymore, I might as well give it to those who truly do. Second, completely separate, absolutely everything connected to Kai TNH. I really hope that after I finally pass away, she never comes to bother my peace again. Third, I want to leave this world completely clean. Expose that law institute as a shady private club with illegal deals. The undeniable proof is right there with that one specific waiter. Eng totally agreed. Just as my consciousness faded away, I thought I heard Kai TNH crying her heart out, but sadly, I'd not hear it clearly anymore. After I passed on, my spirit just drifted through the air, watching Eng actually sue her and take back that 300 million. She literally dropped to her knees, desperately begging Eng for the exact location of my grave. But he just cursed her out relentlessly. The reporters swarming outside the courthouse ruthlessly snapped countless photos of Kai TN's incredibly pathetic, broken state. The furious family quickly exiled Kai TNH completely out of the country. She tried to run away halfway, only to get brutally run over by a car, leaving her legs completely and permanently paralyzed. How incredibly ironic. The driver who hit her was actually HOKNH. He completely lost his mind when arrested, his family abandoned him, and he will spend the rest of his miserable life locked inside a prison cell. I just kept drifting along, finally fading away into the wind, hoping my next life brings me a real home.